everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about a bedroom decor because if you've seen my recent furniture makeover videos, you'll see that I changed some pieces in this room and I asked you guys, did you want an updated bedroom tour? And that is what I'm going to do today. I'm also going to chat a little bit about styling as well. So after the room tour, I'm going to give you some of my tips to help you, well, tips that help me to kind of start a room and the progress of, you know, where to start basically if you want to redecorate a room. So I'm going to share that at the end of this video. If you are new to my channel, do hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. You can also hit the bell button as well if you want to get a notification of when I upload. I upload every Thursday. So let's get into the video and you can see how my room is looking now after I painted some of the pieces. As most of you know, most of my furniture, in fact nearly all of it, is secondhand and upcycled. So the same for this bedroom. My bed was actually €50 and it was orange pine and I painted it with, this is old paint, so Authentico eggshell in the shade ice cream, I think it is. To make my pieces of furniture a bit more intricate, at the time I added some mouldings, and them mouldings are from shabby.ie and you can also make them as well using some moulds and clay. You'll notice that my bedside lockers don't match. Both of these were secondhand finds and they were so cheap, they're around like the €20 mark, and they just got painted the same colour as my bed just to tie them in. So they don't match, but that doesn't matter to me, I don't mind. As you can see, I love to style them up with trinkets, and I think when it comes to my bedroom decor, that kind of is a key thing, is styling up with trinkets. So I have like my radio, things that are functional as well, and then things that look pretty too. Some of you guys might notice this cabinet. This is from a recent video that I did where I upcycled this cabinet. If you want to see the before, I'll make sure to link to the video in the description box. I also have a video on this blanket box. This was kind of, you know, chippy white. It was stained, like things had bled through on it, and I stripped it back completely and I painted it in a similar tone to the cabinet just to tie it all in together. I actually got this monk's bench for free about 5 years ago, gave it a lick of paint, added some mouldings, and it is brand new. I also actually have a video on the chair. I don't have a video on this piece of furniture or the monk's bench because I done them years ago before I was kind of making YouTube videos. I've got two areas to store clothes in this bedroom. So I have this freestanding old kind of shabby wardrobe unit, and then I also have, don't know if you'll see now where the love heart is in this clip, I also have some built-in storage down for clothes. The weird shape of my house and this room. This room is actually quite large, so it's large enough that I can have a separate seating area, which is very luxurious. So I have my pink couch and I have a coffee table, and I also have a little cabinet in the corner. This coffee table I got for free as well. This was a freebie, and it was mahogany, and I just stripped it back, whitewashed the top, painted the legs. You'll also see my pink sofa in the background. So I have a really old blog post sharing how I painted fabric. So basically, I don't know if you can see on the bottom of the pillow, but this was like an orange and dark coloured fabric sofa, and I painted it using chalk paint about 4 years ago now. I have a really old blog post on how I did it. It's basically just watered down chalk paint. I'll try and find it on my blog and I'll link it below. When it comes to decorating and styling your house, your bedroom, a common question I get asked and a common question I asked people in the beginning was, where do I even start? Where do I even start with decorating? Common question. My best advice is to make a mood board. So whether you do it the old-fashioned way where you cut up everything that is your eye is naturally drawn to, you can cut up magazines, pictures that you see, or if you want to do good old Pinterest, make some Pinterest boards, save your inspiration. If you have no idea on where to start, just pin things that your eye is naturally drawn to that you like, and then go back and look and see what it is you like. So my Pinterest boards is full of, you know, like cottage, teacups, florals, pinks, greens. So that's my style. So once I kind of done that and then I looked, I was like, oh, okay, this is my style of decor. And I had like a starting point, and then you can pull together like a proper mood board then. And just keep in mind like the colors that you want. So you'll notice in this bedroom, the base is white, and then I have pinks, greens, and then florals mixed throughout, but all of the colours kind of complement each other. So you can kind of, once you have your colours kind of picked, use that as your guide then to lead you on to the next pieces. Another piece of advice is use what you have. So everything in this room is secondhand, and it's upcycled, painted, legs added, legs taken off. Everything in here is secondhand. The only thing new is like obviously the bedding and the trinkets and my mattress. My bed is secondhand, the bed frame, everything. So use what you already have, so you don't have to throw everything out and start from scratch. Pick the pieces that you like. You know, I like the shape of that piece, but I just want to change the colour. So you can watch some of my other furniture upcycling videos. I have a furniture upcycling playlist, so if you want to check that out. So use what you have, and don't be afraid to add legs. And sometimes something simple like just changing the knobs on something or the handles can make a massive difference. So don't be afraid to do that. My next tip is for layering and taking your time. And what I mean by that is you can layer over time onto your room. So when I look back at old, you know, Instagram pictures or blog posts, oh my god, my room was bare, and I thought that was lovely at the time, but it was still quite bare. But you layer onto a room, and how you layer onto a room, basically you add like texture. So it could be, you know, rugs, it could be throws, it could be cushions. Then you layer on, maybe you add a few more pieces of furniture into the room. You add more, you know, trinkets, things that reflect your personality, so things you find along the way. And to layer onto a home takes time. You don't want to just go out and fill your room full of junk. You want to layer onto it over time with the pieces that you like. And then I'm at a stage where, you know, I'm quite content with this room. I feel like I don't think I need to add more. Probably need to take some out, but I feel like I have a happy balance in the room at the moment. But do take your time. Like, it has taken me a lot of time to get this room how it is. And yeah, don't be afraid to kind of mix and match things. Not everything has to be perfect. And I think bedrooms or rooms in your home that are a bit mismatched and things that show your personality, to me they're more interesting than, you know, a room that looks like it just came out of a magazine, do you know? So my last tip when it comes to putting your room together is basically your budget and is it practical. So basically don't be going over budget and getting yourself, you know, into debt, and just be mindful of, you know, it happens to me all the time. I go into Home Sense for a cushion and I come out €200 later, poorer later. And I'm like, what have I done? You just go into the shops and your money's gone. So be mindful of that. So if you have a small budget, you can totally, you know, using secondhand stuff, tins of paint, you could kit out a room for, I think, €500 easily. All it would take is a bit of elbow grease, painting up some projects, bit of sewing, but totally you could do that. But just, if that is your budget, stick to it. Don't be getting yourself into debt. And I think that's where your mood board is going to come in, because when you're going shopping and you see something you love, you can just look at your mood board and go, you know what, I love that piece, but it's not going to fit into my house. That's what I do. So I'm always seeing really nice things, but I'm like, you know what, I love it, but it's not practical in my house. And that leads me on to practicality. So my bedroom is obviously, it suits me and my lifestyle, and I have cats and whatever. But obviously it might not be practical if, you know, there was kids, I may have to hide teapots. Or if there was like a man here, this might offend him. Do I care? No. Probably why I'm single. But, you know, compromise, you know, on your decor. And just ask yourself, is it practical? So, for example, my little brother is a mechanic. And if he comes over for tea, you know, he pops in, whatever, he's just naturally covered in like soot, oil, black. Like, he will flush the toilet and, you know, like, he's clean, but it's just, yeah, anyone who has like someone in the house, like their family who's like a workman, they just inherently drag dirt into the house. So this might not be practical if I was to start dating a mechanic or like builder maybe, but it's practical for me now. Also, if something that you really love is not practical for you, you can still have it, just make it work in your house. So maybe you like colourful houses, but your family or the people you live with are like, no, well then why not go for really colourful accessories and keep, you know, your walls and stuff neutral, and just introduce colour with, you know, your accessories and stuff. Because my bedroom is actually just white walls. I brought in colour with, you know, my styling. So my pieces of furniture, bedding, cushions, trinkets, teapots, that has layered into the room as my pieces of colour. And if I get bored of that colour, I can just change it. I don't have to rip wallpaper down or paint it, you know. So just a compromise if something is unpractical. I hope this video gave you some value. If it did, please do share. Sharing is caring. Thank you so much when you guys, you know, engage, thumbs up, comments, interact and share on your social media as well. I really do appreciate that. Do share your interior tips in the comments below so we can have the chats and people can kind of get a bit more knowledge. So if you have any kind of decorating or styling tips that you want to share, do comment below. That is it for today. Don't forget to subscribe and I will catch you all in the next video. Bye guys.